because I'm genuinely interested about how something is working within the business, although I'm considered to be quite a senior leader within the organization, I can actually say to people, I just don't get that. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is running out of time for me, if I'm honest. Because they're thinking, no, you sort of, enough now, you should know this shit.
Yeah.
But it's at the beginning when you're moving, just not having being the person in the room. Because often I ask questions, even today, I ask questions in these meetings, and I can see the kind of like, oh, I'm glad someone's asked that question, because people in the meeting are too afraid to ask the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I go, I don't really get that. Can you explain that to me, please? And then of course we can explain that to you, and they explain it. But everyone else who they didn't know it either. And it was so, but they didn't. They've been doing it for like 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So I can't ask that question. I've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah. And if we talk about with clients, if I'm speaking to a client and I'm thinking they're getting it, okay, and I've said, do you have any questions? No, everything's fine. They leave the room. They don't feel that they don't want to look stupid.
Yeah.
So they won't actually ask me, what did I mean by that? And I've left the room thinking, oh, there's a good opportunity here. They've left the room thinking, well, I'm never going to speak to them again because I don't want to admit that I didn't understand. And what people tend to talk in is techno babble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they think they're sounding clever. They think they're sounding smart with all these acronyms and abbreviations. And the person on the other side is like, I've got no idea what's going on here, but I'm not gonna reveal that.
I can't challenge it.
No,
I can't challenge it. No, I completely agree. And I say to one of my kind of top tips for new and aspiring managers is actually getting people to repeat back what you've just said.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just the greatest investment in your life. I know you don't get time, but you're asking someone to do something. Mark, I need you to do this. Okay, Mark, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And then, I would say 99 times out of 100, Mark looks at me like, I haven't got a clue. Okay, because I'm just assuming, as soon as I've sent the message, the Mark's getting it and he's actioning it, right? But Mark is then going to spend the next 5 weeks trying to work out what I'm asking him to do. Much better if I say, tell him what I want him to do. And then basically Mark says, right, and I said, now Mark, what have you understood? Repeat back what you're now going to do. What are the first steps? I need to do, this is a focus area. Okay, great. What else, Mark? And actually just getting Mark to then give us a bit of information on, because actually then Mark's going, oh, I'm really glad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than 5 weeks later, I'm going, Mark, where are we with that project? Oh, I haven't started it yet because I wasn't really sure what you want me to do. Or even worse, Mark's gone off and done something which is completely random. Yeah. Much better off just taking a few seconds, even in the busiest